everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing everyone how to make a calculator in Python. This is not hard at all and it's pretty cool at the end when you see it. And keep in mind it's a very basic calculator. So I'm only going to be doing the 4 operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And then it's not going to be like your regular calculator. You have all these different options. It's not going to be like that. It's just a very basic calculator. So let's just start. Let's go to Spider. Let's go to Spider and let's start. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take a user input. Let's name our variable s. S will be input. Let's do, and you can name this anything you want. Let's do enter the expression. And then now for the second line, we're going to do 3 variables. It's going to be the first number, which we're going to name number1 or n1. Then the second one's the operand. For the operand, it's basically like a sign. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Number 2, which is the second number. And then this is going to equal s dot, the dot split. This is the command dot split. What dot split basically does is it'll find any spacing in a string, and then it'll split that. It'll use to split that. So make sure once this runs, there's a very common error. I'll show everybody how to fix that. Okay, so now we're gonna convert our variables into floating points. So let's do number1, which is equal to floating point, float. Then we're going to do this, number1. Then we're going to do number2, which is equal to float, number2. Now, let's start writing our if and else statements. We're going to use if and else statements so the computer knows if the computer sees this sign, it knows whether to add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So let's start if the operand, we're going to use 2 equal signs. Make sure you have that. Equals, we'll start with addition. Equals has the plus sign. That, have a colon. Then we're going to print. We're going to print number1 plus number2. Then we're going to do elif. Elif the operand. If we're going to do 2 equal signs, and then we're going to do that. It's going to be a minus sign. And do subtraction. We've got our colon. Need the colon at the end. Print. Want to print number1 minus number2. Let's do another elif. This time, same thing for multiplication. The operand equals multiplication. We're going to print number1 times number2. Now, we're going to finish off with division. Now, with division, we change it up a little bit, since if I divide something by 0, you can't really divide by 0. So you're going to want it so the first part, it's just the same thing. Operand equals the division sign. Now, here's where we change it up a little bit. We're going to do an if statement. this if statement it's called nesting. It's where we do this if statement. It's going to be with this line. It's not going to be, we're not going to use it for this part. It's just going to be related to the division operand, the division line. So we're going to do if the number 2, if it's 0, let's do equals 0, put a colon. Now we can print, and you can do basically anything that's similar to this. You can do something like this: error cannot divide by 0. Or you don't need the error part. You can just do cannot divide by 0. I don't know. Anything you want. That's like that. So now we want to do the else statement. It has to be aligned with the if statement since we're finishing off with that. Else colon. Then we're going to do print number 1 divide by number 2. 1, number 2. There we go. Now, that is the code for the calculator. Now, I'm going to show you a very common error that happens. So, let's run this. Now, what a lot of people do is do something like this. They'll do 6 plus 6. It's going to give an error. Why? Because when we use s.split, it splits spaces in the string. We need spaces. So let's run this again. Let's do 6 plus 6. 6 space plus space 6. Now this will give us 12.0 because it's a floating point and it's always a decimal. Now let's try this on other things. Let's run it again. Let's test this out. We want to make sure this is working, our nesting thing. So let's divide 5 divided by 0. Error, cannot divide by 0. Let's run it again. We can test it on a lot of other things. Let's try subtracting. We didn't try that. Let's do 7 minus 12. Again, minus 5. Let's run it again. Let's try it for multiplication. 6 multiplied by 2. 12.0. So as you can see, these are all turning out correct. And this also turned out to be good. Let's just do a normal division that actually works. That's not going to give us an error. Nope, we need a space. There we go. 4.0. You know, you can do almost anything right now. 6, 5, 1.2. It'll give you the exact answer. So as you can see, our calculator works just fine. You know, we just entered all 4 of these operations. Now, it's not going to work for anything other than addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. As you can see, it just worked fine. But if you get this error, like I said, it's a very common error. You'll have people going like this. It's not working. Well, the reason it's not working is because you need a space. Because of the s.split, like I said, it splits the spaces in the string. That's how we're going to get that. And it even says right here, if you're not realizing, it'll show you where the error, in which line the error was in. So if you don't understand this, it'll be right here. But anyway, that is how you make a simple calculator in Python.